Yep. On YouTube. Class on Zoom. We on YouTube for the history, bro. For the people. I'll give you a second. Thank for the donation too. Yep. All right, give us 1 second, man. We about to come. You staring that far? You good? 1 second. We only a minute and 30 in. Islam, we only a minute and 30 in. You're gonna get this history teacher, man, that some of my people was like, man, I told you I won't deprive everybody, but I'm only gonna do more teachings on our Zoom meetings, but I am gonna give y'all a little history. So give me 1 second. Y'all good? We're gonna give it a second, man. We're not in a rush. Islam Moors. We're not in a rush. I told everybody I'm a teacher as well, but we must remember, all more science will be on our Zoom meeting. If you're not a member or a student, all you have to do is donate $10 for Saturday, $10 for Sunday, Cash App $KG Bay. Please send me your email address to my Gmail at goodmancurry@gmail.com, and we'll send you the link. And every time you donate, I'll send you copies of my book and other science for your study. I'll send you the things you need to build your library. And for physical books, I'm gonna be posting on our Zoom meetings each week. Because you remember, all students and members, you already have 7 study books. But I'm also going to be posting each week on Saturday and Sunday books you can have for your library, because history is law and vice versa. So don't forget that. If you know anybody that want to be members and students, the email is Goodman, Goodman, Goodman Khary. That's GOODMAN KHARY @gmail.com. And if you are a non-member, remember what I said. $10 for the history, civics, and law Saturday. $10 for the Sunday school if you're a non-member. For your donations, I will send you my literature. I've gathered and compiled and prepared 10 science books. Well, actually, we got 20 in the making. 10 of them PDF. The rest of them, I got them all in my file, so we're going to be putting them out simultaneously, or should I say systematically. And if you remember, it's $5 or $10. It's $5 for Saturday and $5 for Sunday, plus your monthly dues. We building something, man. We building something. So before we get into this teaching, man, I always like to ask Moors, and like I say, we are a real organization, and I must do things the right way. And I always ask questions. If you was in Arizona at my physical temple, and you were here, and we asked for a $5 or a $10 donation as the divine minister, as your sheikh giving you a teaching, would you give a donation? And most Moors say absolutely. $5 or $10, absolutely. And I say, well, why wouldn't we do that online? Just like if you was physically here. Because nothing goes to me. You don't have to go on Amazon to get any of my literature. I self-publish. I have all my machines. So everything goes to our organization. When brothers be talking about, oh, they trying to do fundraising for all these other organizations, I'm like, why would you do something for another organization and you should be under this auspices? I'm a Moorish American. I'm just like any other organization. I'm just like any other tax-exempt organization. So why should Moors be doing things, talking about and doing things for other nonprofits? And the Burning Bush Tabernacle, Moorish Science Temple and School is a nonprofit. Why? Negroes don't understand, and I said I'm only going to be here for a minute. That's why I offer books and everything for a charitable contribution. We ask for a suggested donation for literature, suggested for donation for X, Y, and Z. If you want to be a member and student, it's a $250 charitable contribution. You get your feds, all your 7 books. Members obligated to donate $100 a month, plus $10 Saturday and Sunday for the weekly teachings. That's only $100.40 that you obligated to as a student and member. That's nothing compared to what I know nobles give to churches. And you don't get any literature. They ask for donations and things, you don't get nothing. No systematic classes, no history, no law, no economics, no macro and macro, no linguistics, no family building, no health and wealth, no financial literacy, none of that. None of that. No agriculture. And that's what this is about, man. So if more is on here, man, we should like this, man. Thumbs up. Because I promise you, Moors, I'm going to give history on YouTube and ask the people for donations because we are an organization. We're a nonprofit organization that do real community work. I'm a Moor. I'm a Moorish American. I'm a divine minister. I'm a sheikh. I'm all that. I'm an educator. I'm a businessman. I'm a nonprofit, just like any other organization that you'll give your funds to. And then I'll be like, okay, so how much going to help that organization? You don't know. And I'm set up the same way with how Negroes be giving their funds to. And I'm like, you get a tax-exempt receipt from me at the end of the year, just like any other organization, nonprofit. I go in school and teach more science, just like everybody else be going to the schools teaching your kids bull crap. The reason why I can go because I'm a business. I can go in to a lot of schools and a lot of organizations as a nonprofit 501c3 religious and historic teacher, depending on the school. If they let me come in for religious or business, I come in for that and history. So I come in and I can draw things up as in-kind service. In-kind service is a thing. Say if my offering, I say I want from the school, hypothetically saying $5,000, and the school say, okay, we don't have in our budget to pay you $5,000, Noble Bay, but what we do have in our budget is to pay you half $2,500, or donate half $2,500 for your time and write the other $2,500 up as in-kind service. And that's how I'm able to go into the schools, into the urban communities, into the prisons and do things. Noble, I'm gonna talk about that, but like I said, I'm not here just to ask questions, no disrespect. I'm not here just to ask a whole bunch of questions with people that jump on here and ask me questions. I ask questions if people give a donation, but you gotta understand what the Moroccan Empire is. Don't get connotated. Don't get connotated in what the Moroccan Empire is, Noble. The Moroccan Empire is you are home. If you are Moorish American, more. I keep telling Moors, if you're a member and student, you should be on the page, on live. There's no reason, on Zoom meetings. If you're a member and a student, it don't matter where you are. There's no excuses. That's why we're on the internet for people that's not physically here. We don't have a temple physically here yet. I had one for years. We're getting ready to get it again next year. But the people that's not here, you online. No matter if you at Big Mama house, no matter if you somewhere chilling at the gym, no reason you shouldn't be on your Zoom meetings. And then if you are more and you understand your nationality and your spirituality, every religious person, you can have Sunday off if it means something to you. Negroes take their birthdays off, do all type of stuff. So I just know what means something to a person. But back to the question that you were saying, Noble, you home. If you're a Moorish American, that's why I tell Moors, go on my YouTube pages, because a lot of Moors need to catch up. And I'm not going to backtrack. Once Moors become students and once we understand them, when you donate, your donations go to you becoming a student. And then I ask a whole bunch of questions that a lot of Moors, from what it seems, to be confused on, especially geographical landmass. Especially if Moors say they study more science and they ask questions like, where's this? And I say, if you're a Moorish American, I keep telling Moors, Morocco is a code word for Mobile, Mohammedan. So if you understand geographical landmass, northwest, southwest, all those things, before things was spread apart, I hope we understand geographical landmass. The reason why most Moors don't understand geographical landmass, because most Negro blacks and color, most Negro-centric, Eurocentric, most Masons and all them Negroes with that Egyptology, that black stuff, they don't understand or understand whatever the catchphrase that you want to use, that Africa, Akibalan, or Maxima, is a continent. It's a continent. It's not a state. It's not a country. So when a person say they're African American, I'm like, okay, well, what part of Africa are you from? Africa is a continent. What type of American are we? Moorish American, Moroccan American. Why? Because we are Americans with Moroccan descent. We are Moorish Americans born in America with Moroccan descent. What part of Africa are we from? We're from Morocco. The Moroccan Empire, as you go deeper and deeper, you got to get in ancient history. We talk about the Moroccan Empire, not how can I say, modern things. Well, a person that gets you caught up in connotation and pseudo-academia and westernized history. I'm giving you peer-reviewed scholarly research. I already done been through the fire. With professors, everything. I have degrees in real life. So it is what it is. It is what it is, man. So like I said, if Moors want to really get this Moorish science, Saturday, history, civics, and law at 2 p.m. on our Zoom meetings, and Sunday is our Sunday school. This is my question I ask everybody, and I want to say yes or no. How can a person say they're a student and classes be on these days, and they know, and the first thing we do, classes just started on Zoom, and we got a million more excuses than a Negro getting ready to go to prison? Somebody please talk to me. And I don't want to ask, because if I know I got class, I don't give a damn what I got going on. I could be at my mama's house, at a barbecue, at the gym. I have time. Because why? I have my phone. My teacher is on my phone. Just like if you go into class online, college, and they say the class this day, and you got to respond to your students and respond to the professor to get your points. And you say, oh, I was over at my mom's house, or I did this, I didn't get a chance to do it. Who fault is that? They're not recording the classes, and nobody, that take time, that take work. If y'all want me to record, I'm already recording them and sending it to everybody individual. That's work. That's work. What work are you going to do? And then Moors want to ask a whole bunch of questions, and I'm like, but you're supposed to be a student, and you can study the teaching systematically if you give donations each week ain't no donations to go to be a member, and you come on your Zoom meetings on Saturday and Sunday, what's the excuse? Because I know Morris be at work. I know people be at work with their phones in their hand, with their earphones on, listening to all type and watching all type of stuff. You cannot tell me I'm lying. You cannot tell me I'm lying, but the first thing that a Negro do in their lower self is make an excuse. So you can't get mad at me. Cause I'm waiting. I want to know why we always got an excuse. That's why I said you can have the keys to humanity right in your hand and we won't even open it. We won't even look inside ourselves. The first thing we'll do is make an excuse, and don't nobody give a damn about your excuses. Somebody talk to me before we even get into the teachings. How are we going to teach our children and tell our children to be responsible and tell our children not to lie, and we'll sit up and lie to our damn self? We'll make excuses and tell our children not to make excuses. You have no right to tell your kids that. You're supposed to be an adult. The scripture says, when I was a child, I act like a child. But when I become a man, I put away all childish ways. Making excuses, that's childish. That's a character flaw. That's a character flaw. That tells me something about a person. That tells me something about you. Every time something goes on, somebody got a million excuses. It's like a person that sent you a whole paragraph over an excuse. That means you premeditated to think about what the lie you getting ready to tell me. You ain't got to tell me that lie. You just missed. So what I'm here to do is illuminate. I'm not here to argue. I'm not here to have no pissing contest. I'm not here to deal with nobody Negro black masonry, nobody Eurocentric, Negrocentric propaganda, nobody Hebrew Israelite garbage, nobody Egyptology garbage. I'm not here for that. I'm a scholar, adapt, and a scientist. I deal with the essence. I'm a historian. I'm a linguistic. I'm a brother. I'm a husband. I'm a Buddha. I'm a Magi. All that. So please, when you're coming to me, please don't ask me no religious crazy questions, because I'm not here for nobody belief system or to debate what nobody be lie. Because your belief and your belie can be based on B to the S. It can be based on tradition. And that's what most people base their stuff on, tradition. Wait till Sunday school, I give y'all on Zoom Sunday when I tell y'all about our More Salah. When a lot of people just be telling y'all to do stuff and ain't even in the Quran. No Quran. You just doing it. We got time, because this teaching ain't even going to take long. That's why I'm just freestyling and talking to the people. How are we going to say we're going to build ourselves up and be educated, and the first thing we do is make excuses? But the first thing, I bet you, if power or something was on, we'll run home and make it for that. I bet you we'll take days off to go to the club and I bet you we'd be on time for the club to get half off drinks. See, and Morris know I'm telling the truth. I bet you be on time for half off drinks. I bet you be on time for a stupid ass basketball or football game for the kickoff or the tip off or the dumbass damn game. Got Negroes chasing their tails. I told you, man, the Negro gonna always make an excuse. Always, man. Me and my mother were just talking about that today, about how when all this Black Lives Matter stuff, and I have an eye on everything, and I was telling everybody, look at the shirt Killer Mike had on. He was talking about kill your masters, and then he doubled back when people was like, man, what you mean your master? Because I tell us, I don't have a master. Black only is created in America. Black is only created in America. I heard a rabbi clearly say tradition is now a major factor in religion. You heard a rabbi say that. That's like if you hear the black Muslim say that. Yeah, you got to understand what context he's coming from. If a rabbi clearly say tradition is now a major factor in religions. It depends on what type of tradition. Tradition telling the truth, or tradition giving you pseudo-academia. So you got to understand the context and dig what the rabbi's saying. Do you know the context? I bet you don't. Because if he is telling you truth. If you understand the truth of what the tradition is, if you have where a story come from, what they study, the Zohar and the Kabbalah, which most Moors don't even understand what it's about because they don't understand gematria. They don't understand signs and symbols. We just pick up shit and regurgitate it because we heard or we thought or my man said or because some European got on a whole bunch of clothes. We think they so holy. And that's what I be saying about us, man. That's why we curse. They coming from all bullshit. Excuse me. Just like a Jewish person to say that they Jewish, and it's all tradition. When they say they from the Ephraim, and I say, man, you ain't no Ephraim just because you believe in something. That's a bloodline. They know it. Just like I show y'all, the true Jew is the Igbo and the Igbo from Nigeria, genetically, scientifically proven. Nobody can refute what I'm saying. We already have the Hebrewic laws. We was already doing things biblically. We was already doing things under the Hebrewic codes. Point blank, before some colonizers came with a book. These is facts. Don't nobody want to debate the facts. Only thing they want to debate is what the hell they believe. And that's what a Negro do. Scientists don't do that. We deal with 1 Thessalonians 5 and 20, 1 Thessalonians 5:21. Prove all things and hold fast to what is good. The truth has no size. You might not like my candor. Who gives a damn? But you will get the work. And you will understand that your brother Noble Bey never gonna tell you no BS. Because I don't have a motive. My motive is the truth. My motive is resurrection. My motive is the defending the Constitution. My motivation is like, you a complete 5. My motivation to tell you is the 13th, the 14th, the 15th Amendment. All that's bullcrap. You got to understand the laws, which pertain to freedom, which pertain to a nation. Thumbs this up, man. Y'all should be sharing this. We just freestyle. I'm just freestyling to the people, man. We ain't even got into the teaching yet. We only 20 minutes in. We gonna clean this. We gonna clean all this. We gonna clean our house up. Man, when man honors man, he honors Allah. The problem I have with a lot of Negro, blacks, and color is when we look at ourselves in the mirror and when we see our brothers in the mirror, we don't see ourselves and we don't see God. We act like this some pissing contest. We act like this some damn pissing contest. When I see a brother in the feds, the first thing I see is my brother. The first thing, if he's not illuminated, the first thing I want to do is hug him and try to give him some light. Because see, just a tittle of light can illuminate a dark place. The spirit, my discernment gonna tell me that. If you or Empress or a noble is not gonna accept the light, I'm just gonna walk past. Because I don't have to water the seed, I plant it. If you want to sprout, you're gonna come. Because my people know my voice. If you understand what a Messiah and what a Buddha is, pertaining to your one-on-ones, and your one-on-one I think is number 6, and I think it's number 39 in your one-on-ones, what an angel is and what a prophet is, clothed in the flesh. But you let these goofballs tell you that you can't make you don't know your prophet name is too holy for you to speak. How the hell is your prophet too holy for you to speak and you know me, you can touch me, you know my phone number. We live. You got direct connection with me. You can call me. This ain't no propaganda. I don't have no P.O. box where you sending stuff to some fake person telling you to do a whole bunch of illegal shit to get you locked up, to get you looked at some damn domestic terrorist. I don't have time to tell you no lies about no expatriation, telling you some de facto when you do that stupid stuff, you outside of the parameters of the law. I ain't here to tell you I'm gonna make you some stupid fake ass ID card that somebody done got an ID card machine off Amazon and then they printed something to you to talk about you done nationalized with them. I say, how the hell can you nationalize with some fool sitting at home? What army, what state, what is that about? And then you got some ID and it expired. No one has the right to nationalize you and denationalize you. Ask any of these goofballs go nationalize a Sudanese or a Chinese or a Bosnian American. They can't do none of that. That's a lie and a sin. The only thing a Negro can do is make you a stupid Mason. Masons, Islam, Christianity, outside Buddhists, all of them that believe in something, that's true shirk. More science is God and man is one. When I say Allah, that means arm, leg, arm, head. That's manifestation of man. That's the pentagram too. I hope y'all understand that. When I say more science, that's I, self, law, and master. That's manifestation of myself. When we talk about Yahweh in our Morris Quran, chapter 11, verse 43, the angel of Allah clothed in the flesh, we're talking about ourselves. And then if we want to tell a biblical story, we can connect it to the biblical story because we are the people of all the books. We're from the tribe of Judah, lineage of David by blood. One of our ayats is, children, your hair is not kinky, it's woolly like your brother Jesus. But we know why Noble Drew Ali used Jesus, because that's all Negroes knew. We knew Jesus, Yahshua, was supposed to spring from the tribe of Judah. If we're going to talk about the lineage of Jesus, which is Yahshua the Messiah, if we're going to connect the dots, If we're going to tell a story, the story is all about you. It's all there. Freedom is all in the scriptures. Leviticus 25:10. That's biblical. So how do you think somebody can do something for you? Why do you think some person with a fed zone sitting at home on the internet that you ain't even met, that you ain't even went to no counseling because it ain't one, that's made up garbage, and you gonna send all your information to somebody and it's not the Moorish Science Temple of America? Are you that gullible? You want a piece of stupid ass ID that bad to pull in your pocket and pull it out and get your head bust because your ID is for your salvation? Failure to obey these orders will be of severe consequences. We are for love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. And I'm just paraphrasing our divine warning. Them cards, your ID card is for the Moorish Science Temple of America. Your tax exempt card is for the Moorish Science Temple of America. Your ID card is for the Moorish Science Temple of America. What Negro told you that replaces something? They a lie and a sin. Any sheik tell you that replaces something, he a liar and a damn sin. He a liar. We don't drive around without no license. Anybody telling you to drive without license, I bet you they sitting their goofy ass in the back seat, and I bet you they driver got operator's license. Driving with or without license is not no federal case. That's a local and state, because every local and state have their own bylaws. Because why? They're incorporated. Just like how we incorporate, we have our own bylaws, like our divine creed is certain things. So Moore's just getting y'all caught up in colorful bull crap. And when they tell you all this stuff, I'm a scholar. I'll look up anything a person say. Oh, I beat this in court. I'll say, what's your doc number? Then they get the shaking in their boots because you a lie. I'll say it's the thing called the precedent case numbers. It's the thing called the Free Information Act. I'm gonna look it all up, and then I'm gonna tell you a lie and a sin because you made that shit up. I don't give a damn if you stand in front of no court building with your stupid ass, raggedy, dirty ass fez on and take a selfie. You ain't did a damn thing. Because if you were more, why you in court? Why you in local jurisdictions? What the hell can a local jurisdiction do for you? I'll wait. You already out of pocket. Because every local jurisdiction already know who your stupid ass is. You must proclaim, declare, and have due process. And understand the laws pertaining to freedom. How you can self-identify legally and lawfully pertaining to international law. So I'll wait. So why you going to beg somebody for something? Because most Moors don't know law. Most Moors don't know civil law. They just be blowing a whole bunch of stupid ass babble. And when I get into legal genre, man, I'll make them Negroes take their damn fez off and tuck it in their ass. I guarantee you. Because a lot of things they're not going to tell you. It's a lot of things you're supposed to know. That's why I say in a court of law, there's no excuse of not knowing the law. Or you think you're finna come to court and ask the damn magistrate or the damn referee a whole bunch of stupid ass questions? Man, I'll lock your ass up fucking tame in the court. Just because you don't know. Just because I can. Tell me I'm lying. You see? You see how we get caught up with entertainment when people be going out renting stuff? Renting police cars and renting police uniforms. And then they say, ready, action. And then they stage a stupid fake ass arrest. And then here come a goofy sheep acting like this shit is real. And he come and talk to you some stupid ass Moorish science like that really means some shit. I'm telling you, it don't mean nothing. I don't give a damn if you stand with your feet out, talk about you standing on your square. That shit don't mean nothing. That is not no science standing with your feet out. That don't mean nothing. That don't mean nothing. And then a goofball, she talk about if you stand in the court with your feet wide off like this, the judge gonna know you represent Noble Drew Ali. Man, that judge ain't gonna know nothing. That's garbage. The only way the judge gonna know who you are if you know the laws and you understand everything is for the record and you defend yourself, which is your right in the proper context. Everything else, what they talking is garbage. They not elite. All those hand signals, they gonna know you a fake. They gonna know you a fake coming in. They gonna know you a fake coming in. Why? Because they gonna know you not part of nothing. Why? Because they gonna look you up. You say you this, you say you study Moorish, you part of the Moorish Science Temple, which you gonna go in there and lie under oath. Because everything is under oath, they're gonna ask you, are you part of the Moorish Science Temple of America? If I'm gonna be in there, I'm gonna put my head down. I'm like, please don't say that. You're gonna say yes. And then they're gonna say, for the record, you saying that you part of the Moorish Science Temple of America that was established by Noble Drew Ali, you're gonna say yes. And they're gonna say, well, where's your membership of it? Just like you can look up your membership of any religious organization or anything if you're a part of. Because you're a member. You're a card carrying member. Everything else is bullshit. And I'm not saying that means you better than nobody. I'm not saying that. But what I'm saying is all these cards things people making don't mean nothing. My card from the temple don't mean nothing if I'm not honorable and noble. I know who I am and I don't need no damn card. That's what I'm telling y'all. We must proclaim, declare, have due process and take it to the world courts. Yes, right now, individually, I know who I am. Yes, right now in the state of Arizona, the powers that be know who I am. And when I travel, they know who I am. But do they know who everybody is as a whole? Do they see everybody in turbans and fezzes? Do they see everybody under my auspices? And I'm not saying mine, an organization that I set up like the temple. The reason why I set up the Burning Bush Tabernacle, Moorish Science Temple in school, because a lot of these temples is practicing religion. I tell Moors, being a Moors, the pedigree, masonry, degrees, the Kemetic science, the history, the linguistics, that's the science. Connecting God and man as one. You have to have a map. And adept have to teach these things that's unknown and give you something to compare to, a map and a guide. That's all. We must be willing to have that. And so, man, what's been happening, man, we got a whole bunch of jive turkeys in this movement, man, that we respect just because they older. And I don't respect the old fool lion. The glory of a young man is his strength, but the wisdom of an older man is the grays on his hair and his beard. Meaning if you got gray on the hair of your beard and you seen something, you should say something and you should do something. You should not be here to get nobody caught up. Because all these people that talk about they under some Moorish American counseling, when them Negroes get their ass handed to them, where your Moorish American counseling? I'll wait. It ain't one. I'll wait. Ain't no such thing as no MAC number. I'm going to say this over and over. It ain't no pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. I got to keep telling Moors this. Because this teaching ain't going to take me long. See, it ain't going to take me long. Are y'all clear what I'm saying, man? Are y'all clear what I'm saying? I don't care who get their panties ruffled up. I don't care what she telling you. He lying. Can't nobody make you some Moorish American. Ask them, prove it. How can some sheik, how can some temple make you a Moorish American? I'll wait. I'll wait. Tell them go make a Sudanese or a Chinese. Tell them I said that. They lying. And if they say that's the doubt wisdom, I'll pull it out. I'll pull out the doubt wisdom. They're telling you that they are lying and a sin, that they liars. I don't give a damn how much old paper you pull out from Noble Drew Ali, how the temple is set up. You lying. I know how the temple was set up. I know how the temple was set up. And you don't have the only authority. If you nationalize through the temple, that means you have the right to teach more science. Who? To the uncivilized. That's how. You a sheik. And a sheik is if you have the wisdom. That's what our divine creed states. That's what my dispensation says. I'm able to teach more science. That's the way. And it ain't saying I'm the only one. But if you teaching it wrong, hell yeah, I'm gonna check you. Just like you don't want the wrong answer. You don't want your kid to be studying with somebody. Just imagine your kid studying algebra. And the person they studying with, they giving your kids all the wrong formulas. And when you go take the test, or when your daughter go take the test, they fail everything. But they followed the stupid ass teacher. You gonna fire the teacher, right? Right, ISIS? Yeah. But see, Negroes, they get in they feelings like, oh, he just a man. No, you ain't just no man. You know what you doing. You fraudulent concealing. You premeditating. You lying to people off the top. We don't leave nobody in no burning house. Oh, I'm just gonna give you a whole bunch of wrong ass answers, and then when you find out all the answers wrong, the person gonna run under their shell and still be out teaching lectures and all this shit, getting people caught up in colorable law. Then you got some damn stupid Moors, and I'm saying stupid because your science is way off freaking base. Telling Moors to fill out on the census that they black. How the hell you black? Read black. You damn sure ain't black. If on the census anything you should put white. And what is it? American Indian, all that pertains to you. You should collect white and American Indian. If you read it and understand it, no sheik in their right mind should be telling you black because you're not black. Elementary student can tell you that. My elementary student can tell you that. Why they said because black is an adjective. It ain't no such thing as black land. It's simple. I'm giving y'all basic stuff, man, trying to court y'all to hope y'all become members of student on Zoom. Man, just imagine once we have 100 members giving $100 a month, man, how big the temple will be out here. And then I'll be coming to everybody's city, man, and we'll have a small temple in your area. We'll buy buildings in your area. And then the Moors in that area, we can go satellite. And it could be 40, 50, or 100 Moors in your area. And we anoint governors and divine sheiks under the science in every domicile. And then we go on live, and then we have our grand meetings out here in Arizona on our big at our big temple. And then Moors helping build on our land and our acres. We can all get 40 acres. We could get 200 acres and then start building our log cabins, our Amish style log cabins, and build our own community. Have our own gardens. Man, I'm telling you, this is real stuff that I do. I use my own funds. I use my own funds to do real things. I'm telling y'all, man, just imagine in a couple more 5 years, where y'all gonna be? Steady working, and I'm gonna be on my land, and I say Morris could have been part of this. Morris getting their little so-called tax receipt money, return money, spend it on clothes, and Morris could be having an acre or two. Each year we can be developing it. In 10 years, our whole area can be developed. Because I ain't planning on leaving the flesh no time soon. I don't need a whole bunch of cars and car notes. I don't need to be paying a whole bunch of stuff for stuff I don't own. That's why I pay stuff off, and that's why I get land. Wait till I show y'all when I be living on my acres with my family. And I'm trying to bring Moors into it. Go on my page and see, we already got 40 acres. Now I'm trying to get acres with Moors and have our own gated charter community. It's out here in Arizona, man. Stop listening to people that's lying, that live in a neighborhood, talk about they don't pay taxes. Man, if you live in a neighborhood, you under state and local laws. A allodial title, a allodial deed, it don't even, that's obsolete when it come down to that. Because local and state laws trump that when you live in a community with taxes. That's how the community being made. So number one, Negroes lying to you. That's a lie. That's how the garbage man, if they say they ain't paying taxes, then the garbage man ain't coming to pick their trash up. Then they ain't plowing in front of their street. They lying to y'all, man. They lying to y'all. They just lying. Everything is a lie. Everything is a lie. Everything. They making up their own laws. They telling you we making our own constitution. No, we're not. No, we're not, Moors. So with that being said, these last 20 minutes, I'm gonna go ahead and give this teaching. And then if Moors want to ask any questions, I told y'all, don't make them religious, please. Because if you make anything religious, I'm blocking you. Because Moorish science not no religion. Cash App $ KG Bay if you feel that you want to give a charitable contribution. If you don't, I understand it don't mean nothing to you. And I have to block you too. No disrespect. No disrespect to no one. But I promise y'all, I did this so many times, especially on campuses, and I used to be on Instagram a long time ago. But I told y'all remember that documentary? I was asleep, and one more sent me something talking about, have you seen Hidden Colors? And I don't really watch things like that, man. Especially when I see what a person's motive is. You know, especially when they don't have an organization where you can reach back in the community and you can donate things as taxes in when you're in a certain tax bracket and the people in the community can donate. So I'll be noticing what a person's motive is. Because if you're not like that, then you offer profit and you ain't helping nobody. You ain't helping your community. You're not feeding your community. And don't tell me you are. Don't tell me you giving back. You a damn lie. Because if you was giving back, all you have to do is set up your own nonprofit and have your community helping you. Yeah, I'm from Flint, Michigan. Yep, I'm from Flint, Michigan. Yep, I'm from West Patterson Street. I told y'all, my brother killed Jelani Goodman Bay was killed in Michigan. All my homies was killed by Negroes. The black police killed my homie. But what I'm saying is, most people got that documentary called Hidden Colors. And what's the brother name that put that documentary out? I don't know. Somebody tell me the name because y'all watched it. Thanks for the donation. Y'all watched it. What's the name of the documentary? Dang, let me see. Hold on. Dang, somebody post on here. What's his name? Post this. Yeah. Thank you. Oh, what'd he say? Oh yeah, thanks for the donation. Yep, it's Cash App $ KG Bay. Yep, his name was Tariq Nasir. Now, you want the truth if you was taking a test. On that film, didn't that brother say Africa was named after your European? Watch this. Go back on there and look at it. And I hope he ain't try to edit that part because I got it saved. The more sent it to me. A whole bunch of people would send it to me. Was like, he said he a scholar, noble, blah, 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 blah. And this was a European because they always like to research our stuff to have ammo. And one of the European students, you know, he was like, but you just lectured out on campus. He was like, so I see why they making a bad name for Moorish science and all this. I said, because you got people with a motive. And I was like, this elementary, how can you say, if you say call yourself a scholar, just like when I be telling people be practicing male practice. If I'm a doctor, I don't want to practice male practice. I want to make sure I'm doing the right thing. So on that tape, that brother said, amexima. Man, no, you got to research it. And I tell you, I'm not going to ask everything. If I just tell you, what if I just tell you amexima was spelled Amiexia, and you never research it? And I just lied to you. Look it up, and then if you don't have it, and then I'll say yes or no. You can say, hey, I researched it, and you can say, hey, these are the names I came with. Is this correct spelling? I say yes. But if you just ask someone without you doing any research, you have no idea if a person lying to you or not. You say, I didn't see anything about more science in the doc. In what doc? In what doc? In what doc? You didn't see any more science in what doc? And watch this, what I tell a person. Because I think they mistaken what more science is. What do you think more science is, Morris? What do you think more science is? See this? What do you think more science is? Watch this. Watch this. Because we think it's something different. More science is connecting God and man as one. More science is what other hats I wear is metaphysics. IDMR, when we talk about man made in the image of Elohim. So what you talking about? More science is just like Kabbalah. The Kabbalah of Allah is just like 720 degree science. So what you talk about, it didn't say more science. Because see, we want a word. More science is knowledge, order, rhythm, astrology, nature. More science is history. History is more science. So what are you saying? It didn't say more science in the doc. This is what I'll be telling people. No disrespect to you, Noble. But when we defend something, I'm like, okay, what do you mean? Because more science is history. But listen what I'm saying. If you put out, listen what I'm saying clearly. If a person put out a documentary, if I give you something and people come in, when I say some things are not, when the person say they're a scholar, because if you a scholar, things must be done peer-reviewed scholarly research. So what I'm saying is, if you a scholar and you put out a document, Hidden Colors, and you say you basing your information on what this person said, and this person called himself a scholar, you don't have to title nothing more science. And then another historian, I don't give a damn if they orange, black, purple, green, gray. If they a scholar and they studying from the royal libraries and the archives and the doctoral library and doing real history, peer-reviewed scholarly research and prehistory, studying science, how can you come up with the idea that Africa is named after European? Is what I'm saying. How can you make a video and sell it for millions? Moore's watching it because Moore's the one sent it to me. That's why I said most of the people that's confused is Moors and so-called religious Hebrew Israelites and religious Masons. I keep telling y'all, the European know exactly who we are. The European Masons know exactly who we are. That's why they're sons of Muslims. That's why they take everything and wear it. That's why the copy copies you. They take all the signs and symbols and regurgitate it and use it. And then Negroes argue with Negro-centric propaganda. And that's what we do. We argue things based on a lie. And that's where I say I have a problem with Negroes. And I say we got to remove away from Negroes because a lot of Negroes are enslaved mentally because we want to believe a lie. We want to believe a lie and continue with that bullshit. This ain't no happy old buck dancing showing your teeth. This is what I'm saying. How can brothers put a document out and brothers reading it, calling it scholarship, and brothers sharing it, talk about, yeah, Africa is named after a European, and I name drop every more that regurgitated that crap and was making videos using that Hidden Colors as a reference. Tell me I'm lying. I'm saying, how you a Moor and you using some bullshit for a reference, and I know you ain't researched it. What you did is that, what I be saying, that Google and that Wikipedia, you ain't no scholar. What you is a pretender. What you is a pretender. And then you will argue everything based on some shit you have no idea of. That's what I'm saying. And what I'm saying, where did the brother get that garbage from? About Africa's name after a European. That's to show you that always putting a white man above you. That's that same shit Killer Mike was doing. And T.I. And now if they wasn't doing it, the shirt they had on said, kill your masters. Well, shit, only thing that's made in America is the black man. And the slave to have a master. And so then here it is, the same brother talk about Africa's a name after a European. I don't know no place in Europe named Africa. I'll wait. And ain't no disrespect to nobody. And then the brothers, that's just like a person coming back and making a video saying they sorry after they got caught. Just like the police saying they sorry after they even stepped on the brother's neck. Negro, you ain't sorry. You think nobody didn't see that? I told y'all one of the Masonic secrets is put the shit right in your face because they think you perverse and you don't know nothing. Most Masons, their kids don't know nothing. Nobody. Y'all know I'm telling you the truth. And now when a person see it and put an eye on it, they want to backtrack. Talk about this. They talk about kill everything that's against you. Anything that's holding you back. Man, yeah, right. Well, in this context, what's going on, anybody with a general mind, when you look at that shirt, you'll relate that to exactly what's going on. See, that's the problem. But I'm saying, oh, we playing. And then we always let niggas apologize. I don't have time for niggas apologizing. They always apologizing. Or it didn't mean this. Yeah, it did. I don't care if you say you don't matter about this, but say what the hell you mean. If not, sit your entertaining ass down. That's what I'm saying. And back in the day, Harry Belafonte and them and all our leaders and things, they were telling the athletes and the entertainers, y'all need to just support financially. You have no business trying to lead no people. Yeah, you an activist. Stay in your activist lane. Rap. But you ain't no leader, no historian. And we always make historians and comedians and things our scholars. They ain't putting no work in. And then we let Negroes anoint themselves. I understand street scholars. I'm that too. But I got the best of both worlds. You should want that. You should want no brother that's a shade tree mechanic or a person that say, and I relay martial arts. And you have a master and all he know how to defend with his hands. But then I'm a master, a grandmaster, and I know how to work with my hands and I know how to use my spirit, orthodox. I'm gonna beat you. You don't want to learn from the grandmaster? I would hope you would. So the title, Africa, it did not come from Scipio Africanus. Write this down, Scipio Africanus. They always want to get credit to the European, but I'm done letting these people play with us today. Scipio Africanus, Africanus. Just like in historical, the replacement theology was Al-Islam and Christianity. Get a book called Gad and Seer. When the so-called made-up Muhammad walked the earth, it was under the Byzantine Empire. He married Khadijah, which was a Roman priest. Weragra was her cousin, was a high Roman priestess. Research what I'm telling you. We know the Greek perspective. You got Serapis Christo, Alexander the Greek. And the Italian is Caesar Borgia. We know this. The birth name of Scipio Africanus was Publius Cornelius Scipio. Let's clear this garbage up. This should go viral. Let's clear this garbage up. The birth name of Scipio Africanus was Publius Cornelius Scipio. Publius Cornelius, Cornelius, Scipio, or Sapio, however you pronunciate it. Scipio. Now watch, let's finish digging. Publius Cornelius Scipio, he earned the title. Africanus. Y'all know how he earned the title, right? Somebody tell me how he earned the title. How did the European Publius Cornelius Scipio earn the title Africanus? How did he earn it? Do y'all know? If you don't know, say no. If you know, say it. Let's give some history, because history is law. We're not gonna let nobody play with us. Somebody say, do they know? Yes or no? You don't gotta look, you can look for it later, but right now I'm trying to speed it up so we can get this going. Do we know? Somebody type, yeah. By conquering what land? I know that. But what? No, but listen to the question specifically. Listen. Please. Publius Cornelius Scipio. He earned the title Africanus. How? How did he earn it? It had to be a process how he earned it. After a what? Okay, but what? How did he earn it? Come on, man, it's deeper. Y'all getting warm, but we won't. Remember, in history and law, we got to be specific, not general. Thank you. Say you don't know. After the conquers. What conquers? Come on. Remember, I tell you, we don't have to guess. That's one thing we're not going to do. We're not going to guess. Because I tell them, if you put your life on the line, would you put your life and your empress life on it? Would you put your money on it? If not, don't guess. Say we don't know. We can say you were told. And then when you say you were told we to clean it up. But when we just blab out, that means that we think we know. So we can say we were told. Don't say you heard. Because if somebody told you something, we're cleaning up the information. And we got to walk out the house hand in hand, synchronized. That's what I'll be trying to teach. It's specifics. We got to know this. And I just lectured this yesterday about the landmass, how I told y'all Phoenician and Carthaginian mean all the same stuff. That's how I know Moore's ears don't be listening.
Yeah.
Listen. The birth name of Scipio Africanus was Publius Cornelius Scipio. Publius Cornelius Scipio earned the title Africanus after General Hannibal Barca, the Carthaginian, after the Battle of Zama in the Second Punic War. Y'all got to know this. See, the Romans got the title Africanus from the indigenous Afri, A-F-R-I, or Berber, the Berber people living in the northern regions of the Sahara Desert. When I talk about the Afri, when I show y'all my charts, when I break down my charts and I break everything, when I start teaching with the charts, to show you, connect you, God and man as well, and I break down all the signs and the symbols of the primordial man with all the charts, I've been doing it. That's why you should be a student. So let's dig with the origin and the name and the meaning. I want y'all to be clear. Every nation, landmass, and continent has names that has evolved over the centuries. And all of the names that you think, or you might believe, because your belief can be based on a lie, was called in the distant past. I promise you, they are only local names used by a few tribes, nations, and only refer to small sections of the continent. Remember, if Africa is a continent, we're talking about what part of Africa. And people in Africa have different dialects: Bantu, Yoruba, Tanzanian, Zulu. Okay, I know Africans speak goddamn go French because they was colonized and captured by the French. So come on, language don't mean nothing. It's like the Negro say, I say, just because you speak English, you think you're European per se, because you speak a language, it's your blood. But there are multiple ancient African sources for the word Africa Moors, including the Berber word Ifri, I-F-R-I, and the Berber word Afer or Ether, A-F-E-R, which is the name of Banu Ephraim, B-A-N-U-I-F-R-A-N, and from Algeria and Tripolia. Africa can also be derived from the Egyptian Af-Ru-Ka, the A-F, the R-U-I, the K-A, to turn towards the opening of the Ka. The Ka is the energetic double of every person, and the opening of the Ka refers to a womb. Here we go. We talk about that womb. We talk about that fez. We talk about our Asiatic empresses, or the birthplace. And Africa would be, for the ancient Egyptians, the birthplace. And these many other ancient sources, including hieroglyphics, make reference to the title or destination, Africa. See, the first word, Moors, Afu, A-F-U, it carries the meaning of house. The A-F-U carries the meaning of house. And the second word, Ra, in this context, Moors, is one of the names of the divine creator in Africa, and generally in Egypt, in particular, Moors. And the word Ka, in this context, it carries the meaning, Moors, of soul or spirit. So when you put it all together, Moors, you get the word Af, Ra, Ka. Just like when you put Israel together. So the meaning of Africa is the house. For the soul Moors, or the spirit Moors, of the divine creator dwells in where? This house. Remember I said man is made in the image of Elohim? Man made in the image of Yah, the tabernacle built without hands. Everything that was built in the physical tabernacle pertaining to your physical inside molecular structure. The word in this form, Moors, it refers to the land of the divine creator. And Africans, they look at their land as belonging to and created by the divine creator. Africani. The F, the AFU, the RA, the KANI. I hope you're writing this stuff down. This is what you could be teaching your children. And you can say, hey man, Brother Bay telling us history. So when so-called black history come, we're going to destroy all that. I got even more. But a word derived from Africa, it also carries the meaning of house, for the soul of the spirit of the divine creator. But in reference, Morris, or in context to human beings, male in particular. See, the plural form, Morris, is Africanu, KNU, which refers to all males as houses for the spirit or the soul of the divine creator, Morris. Afru-rate, Kitnit, AFU, RAIT, KAITNIT. That's the female house for the soul of the spirit of the divine creator, Moors and empresses. See, the plural form of the Africanut, which refers to all females as houses for the soul or the spirit of the divine creator, Moors. And this is the philosophy of the Afrikaans, or the Africans per se. So the Afrikaans believe that all human beings were the carriers and the houses for the soul and the spirit of the divine creator. Islam, Morris? If y'all understand what I'm saying, Islam. Somebody talk to me, I'm real. Come on, man, I respond to people questions. I respond to people vibrations. Just like when I be getting the groceries, man, for my empress, and she be like, dang, boo. She be like, hey, man, you look strong. I try to get all the groceries with one hand. Talk back to me, man. Islam? Talk back to me, Morris. See, remember I tell y'all about books? You can also research science from like the destruction of a black civilization, the great issues of a race. And that was written by Chancellor Williams. Africa was also called Akebulan, Akebulan. Moors, if y'all don't have the Moors Quran, if you're not a member, man, I'll PDF it to you. Mother of mankind. That's what Akebulan means. That's what's in the Bible when they talk about the land of milk and honey. They talking about Akebulan. That's why in the Bible, in a certain context, they say in the beginning the world was dark. They telling you because the world was dark. And it was the Garden of Eden. And the name was used by numerous tribes and ancient nations, including the Nubians, the Numidians, the Carthaginians, which are the Carthaginians, and the people of Cush, Ethiopia, or the Abyssinians. But however, Moors, we never had a single name for the entire continent. It never was a single name for the entire continent. I hope you ought to be clear. So we clear that up for the goofballs that's saying that Africa was named after some European. Africa is a continent. We had numerous localized names, but there is no name that was used for the entire continent before Africa. I promise you this. Akebulan. Is Akebulan the original name of Africa? Absolutely not. Man, we got to correct the teachers and keep bringing it, man. I respect all my scholars, but I'm in the flesh. I can reach back. They can't reach forward. I can reach back and correct the teachings. That's how we correct things. But Akebulan is just one of the many ancient local names of Africa. And among the many ancient names used to describe different areas of our land is Akebulan, which means mother of man. And Akebulan has also been interpreted as meaning Garden of Eden. Ask a European, they'll tell you. That's why y'all don't know. Every European Mason that's a potentate, they know. The Negro, black, and colored Mason don't know because they buried you in a shallow grave. You Haram Abif. Just like our empresses that's in the daughters of, what they are, Eastern Stars, and the Europeans, daughter of American Revolution, they ain't gonna tell you neither that you are Mayat. The white fence with the gold tassel represents you, but you don't know. I promise you that. Go ask them. Africa, the current misnomer adopted by almost everyone today, was adopted and used widely. Y'all know that, right? Across many cultures to describe the continent because it was easily translated into many indigenous languages. It was easy to pronounce. The ancient Greeks and Romans, and as a result of the wide usage of the name, Africa came over time to use Africa to describe the whole continent. These is facts. Ask any person that's from the continent of Africa or a Kibalan. I bet you they'll tell you what I'm telling you, unless they don't know their own history, unless they've been colonized and they operate as some European Albion. No disrespect to nobody. I'm gonna give y'all different examples of the indigenous sources for the word Africa. Africa, Afrak, A-F-A-R-A-K, also known as Agoria, A-O-U-G-I-G-H-A. Look these words up. They were a Berber people who live south of Carthage, which is North Africa. The term Afrik, A-F-A-R-I-K, or Africa, were used to denote the land of Afrak, or Afarak. Remember the Phoenician root, Farak, F-A-R-A-Q-U-A. The Phoenician root, F-A-R-A-Q-U-A, Farak, or Farouk, or Farak, which suggests a separation, or in other words, a diaspora. The same root is found in some African language, like Bambara. Look this up. Also, you can research in the Sanskrit and the Hindu, the root Apara, or Africa. It denotes that which, in geographical terms, it comes after, or in other words, Moors, the west of India. And from the geographical position of India, Moors, the Asian country in which the East Africans established colonies, namely the Darwinian culture. Research that. After in Africa is the Western continent, and after school of thought, it states that the word Africa comes from the two Phoenician terms, one of which means an ear of corn, which was a symbol of fertility. You got to understand what signs and symbols mean. And in that region, and the other, Parika, P-H-A-R-I-K-I-A, which means land of fruit, or land of the fruit. Other local names used to describe our land, Africa, Ogara, Ethiopia, Korf, C-O-R-P-H-Y-E, Ortega, O-R-T-E-G-I-A, Libya, Africa, or Afrik, A-F-A-R-I-K, Kemet, Kush, Nubia, Olympia, Abyssinia, Godagwana, G-O-D-O-N-G-W-A-N-A, Hesperia, H-E-S-P-E-R-I-A, or Hesperia, Temeria, or Temera, T-A-M-E-R-R-Y, or T-A-M-E-R-E, or Oceania. Don't y'all know Judah had different names, 4 different names? Abir, Judah, and I forget the other name right off top. But the slave ships from Judah, or Benin. The European tell y'all this. I'm telling you, they done wrote it. Africa has many indigenous names. So now let's get into the Negro. Since I put the highlight. Why do Negro that say they scholars and all this, why do many of them say that Africa got its name from Publius Cornelius Scipio, who was given the abdomen? Research what an abdomen is. A-B-D-O-M-E-N. I hope y'all know what an abdomen name. See, can't nobody get you caught up in linguistic apartheid if you're dealing with a true scholar and a true linguistics. An abdomen is nothing but a nickname. The nickname was Africanus after he defeated the great General Hannibal Barca, and then called themselves Asiatic. Remember, just like when somebody beats you, they take your name. That's what the thing to do back in war. Y'all ain't listening. Yet the same Negroes, they never say this. Watch this. They never say this, that Asia got its name from the brother of Scipio, whom was rewarded for his victories in Asia with the abdomen, Scipio, Asiatics, or Asiaticus. Lucius Cornelius Scipio, whom was better known as Scipio Asiaticus, was given the abdomen, which is a nickname, Asiaticus, by the Romans, just like his brother was given a abdomen nickname, Africanus, when he defeated Hannibal Barca. You see, when y'all Negroes, we talk about, when Europeans and Negroes talk about they went to war to fight for your freedom. No, they didn't. You thought you did. When them Negroes came home from World War I and all that, they were still slaves and being hung. It was just two brothers, the red and the blue, fighting over slaves. You don't believe me? Why you think they let Negroes have voting rights and all that goofy stuff? Y'all know why. I know it, dude. I'm giving y'all history. History gotta line up. That's why when Negro we talk about, well, what's more science? More science is knowledge, order, rhythm, astrology, astronomy, nature, history, civics. History is law. It all goes together. So his brother got the name Asiaticus by the Romans, just like his brother was given the abdomen, the nickname Africanus, when he defeated Hannibal Barca. So the word Africa is an indigenous name used by dozen North and East African tribes for thousands of years before the Roman Republic was ever born. Rome got the name Africa from guess who? Africans. That's where they got it. So no African is not named after any European. Don't y'all know all them doctors, all that? They came to Africa, Kivalon, to study medicine. Everything. Ask them. No disrespect. Europeans was down at the age of 20, 21, through birth, not washing their asses. It's no disrespect to nobody. This, you can research this stuff. The Europeans, the ones that said they lived in, Albions, the one they said they lived in caves and lived with dinosaurs. That ain't my history. So if somebody say that they want that history, they live with dinosaurs and they lived in caves and they ate raw meat all the time, they can have that shit. That ain't my history. I'm not finna argue with nobody. That's a damn snowman. I'm not finna argue with nobody of that. I'm not finna argue with nobody over their history. We ain't never live in no stupid ass cave. And you can take it how you want to. Why was Africa named by or after a Roman general called Scipio Africanus? See, even if you don't know the many indigenous words and the meanings which translate to Africa Moors, it should be obvious, Moors, it should be obvious to all of us that Africa is not a European word. There are no European cities and towns called Africa. And if Africa was a European word, there would be other places named Africa. Think about it. That's why you got these new age Negroes and these pseudo academia Negroes that make videos and then they sell them and then they don't come back and correct their teachings. You can be sincere, but damn it, if you sincerely wrong, if you love your people, you got to go back and correct that mistake. If not, then you passing lies, that's truth, for money. That's why new age Negroes will falsely tell you that Africa got its name from the Romans. And that's a lie. And I proved this many times. The people that's spreading this lie, they do not know history. And some of them do know the truth, but they choose to spread lies. That's what the 5%ers say. You got a lot of these Negroes know the truth, but they know you don't know, so they're going to tell you a lie. But I'm going to step on their necks right now. Africa is not a European word, and it's not named after the Roman, who was named Cornelius Publius Cornelius Scipio. I told y'all there was multiple ancient African sources for the word Africa. I told y'all the Berber word, Ifri, and the Berber word, Afer, which is the name of a Banu Ephraim, from Algeria, from Tripolian, also derived from Egypt, the Africa. I gave you all that. The Roman general who defeated Hannibal was named Publius Cornelius Scipio, and he was best known for defeating Hannibal at the final battle of the Second Punic War, 2018 to 202 BC at Zama. And when he did that, after he won, he earned him an agnomen, an Agnomen, which is a title or a nickname, Africanus. Scipio was also called by the nickname, the Roman Hannibal, and he was called Africanus because he defeated the greatest African general of all time. Rome did not create the name Africa Moors, and anyone who claims they did is mistakenly or they purposely a damn liar or phony or fraud or European or Negro Mason. I'm just telling you flat out. Africa is not named after any Romans, and the Romans named themselves after us. Ask them, they'll tell you. Just like when you go to the Netherlands, when they celebrate Black Peter, Swarte Piet, and you see the Corsica flag, and they try to act like the reason why the Moor is dark because he climbed down a chimney, and they call Santa's helper Santa Claus. I'll tell you all this goofy shit they lie about. Africanus is an ognomen. You got to understand that Publius Cornelius Scipio was given an ognomen for defending a general named Hannibal Barca. An ognomen was given to him. That's why, Moors, when I tell y'all Roman name practicing, it varied greatly over the centuries between the founding of Rome to the early Middle Ages. However, Moors, the practice of the elite during the period between mid-Republic and early Empire, when I be telling Moors, when y'all be talking, Moors be totally out of dispensation. You got to understand time periods and certain languages for you can correct a person with that linguistic apartheid, because a lot of times the language wasn't even used for that particular subject during the time that they speaking of. Just like when Negroes talk about some Willie Lynch, I'm like, that's fake. That whole letter is fake. Don't y'all know if it was a Willie Lynch letter, that'd be prophetic in scholarship? I lectured this on the college campus. I had them Negroes with them African-American degrees in tears. But the Republic and the early Roman Empire, they came, it was a classical Roman naming convention. And this is likely to be because the period, it provides good evidence of naming practices of the best documented class in the best documented Roman period. And by the end of the Republican era, Moors, a name for an aristocratic male citizen comprised three parts: a trinomina, a trinomina, a praenomina, which is the given name, and a nomen or a nomen gentile, or simply a genetical name, being the name of the gens or the clan or your tribe, and cognomen, name of a family line within the genes. Sometimes a second or third cognomen called an agnomen was added. I hope y'all follow me. The nomen and later the cognomen were virtually always hereditary. Listen how they telling you exactly your name and your tribe and your birthrights mean something. And they're not just going to tell you flat out. And it's a thing in law to where you should know this. And it's a thing in law what I gave you all yesterday in the Zoom meeting. Well, it's a law and a precedent in law phrase where you can use, where you should know this. I'm not going to tell you, because you should be a student. But during the imperial period, the number and options for elements within the name, it considerably increased. And the naming conventions for the later period grew out of a desire to indicate status, connections, and ancestry in a way that was much more wide-ranging than could be shown by the tree or the trinomina. And after the cognomen became hereditary and lost its function as a nickname, a second nickname or agnomen was appended to the name after birth, usually not immediately, to signify some personal characteristic or accomplishment. A common agnomen was pious, for someone who displayed virtues like honest, reverence to the gods, or devotion to the family and state. Superus or suburus, which is proud, pulchre, which is handsome, were also examples of agnomenia. Unlike the nomen and the cognomen, an agnomen was usually not inherited unless the son also had the same attribute or did the same deeds. Although some victory agnomenia, like Augustus, Majestic, and Germanics, the German conqueror, and of course Scipio Africanus, the conqueror of Africa, and eventually became handed down as an additional Moors cognomenia. So I hope y'all understanding what I'm saying, man. Pseudo-Probus used the hero of the Punic Wars. Publius Cornelius Scipio used Africanus as an example. So I hope y'all understanding what I'm saying. I hope y'all connecting the dots. Probu hominium nomium, inquator species, divatur, premium, nomium, cognomen, agnomen, prenomium, ut puta Publius, nomium, Cornelius, cognomen, Scipio, agnomen, Africanus. What I'm saying is men's personal names are of four types. I gave that to y'all. Marius Victorinus. Further, he talks about, this is an ancient writer, I am agnomen. He give his title, he give his title, his nobility. Are y'all following what I'm saying, Morris? So I'm done. I wanted to clear that up. The only way you're going to learn is to become a student, man. And we don't learn by just asking questions. We learn by studying and cross-referencing and being a student. You can't learn more science just by putting yourself in a microwave and then want to regurgitate something. You can't even learn more science just because you have a fez. Wearing your fez is just part of the culture. You must understand the science. You must understand the 360 degrees of science and the 720 degrees of science. You definitely must understand the 32 and 33 degrees before you even put the fez on your crown or your captive. And you get that in your instruction number 2. If you don't understand it, I teach the science. The only way you're going to understand this, it must be taught to you. You must be initiated. Moors that be lying to y'all, telling you that it's not an initiation into the science and the brotherhood, they a lie. What you think the solid brotherhood of the East is talking about? Or you think a Negro can just put a fez on and make YouTube things and say that they a sheik and they an adept and they're not and be initiated? And ain't nothing wrong with being initiated if it's righteous. Just like if you initiate it into the science, if you initiate into what you're doing, it's a certain type of initiation. What is an initiation? However you acquired your skills, that's an initiation. Practice, that's an initiation. Dedication, that's an initiation. Working out, initiation, dedication. So I'm done, man. Any questions? That's it. I'm done. Thanks for the donation. Thanks for the donation, Morris. I'm done. Any questions? Please don't ask me nothing about no religion. Please. Please. Please don't ask. And please don't ask me about what nobody else said. Ask something for clarity for yourself. Please don't say, my man said do it, or you heard. If you heard something and you ain't researching for yourself, then it really don't mean nothing. And it's all propaganda. Any questions? No questions? I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna read something, but I'll wait for anybody. I got you. I got you, man. No questions? I'm waiting. I know somebody got a question now. That's why I'll be telling us. Moors be so quick to say stuff on Instagram, a whole bunch of propaganda, because I know what page most Moors go to. Look, most Moors go on this propaganda page and they just post stuff. And if they look on the bottom of it, I see a lot of Moors don't like to do research. They'll just look real fast and be like, oh, I can't find it. And then I read through everything, just like contracts. I had to read through one of my homies' contract that went pro. I had to read through one of my homies' contract that used to rap. I'm like, you ain't even read the whole contract, because on the last page, you done signed your life over. And I know most people don't read all through the contract of nothing. I know this for a fact. But then they talk about what they know. A lot of people don't know certain things are for entertainment purposes only. Moors do not look. And I keep telling Moors, we do so much stuff that don't mean nothing, and it's no disrespect to nobody. But this is what I tell people. If you don't talk to your family about who you are, because I talk about current events, I'm not going to say names. If you don't talk to your family about who you are, how the hell you can send your blood to somebody and they're gonna tell you your DNA unless that company is not doing no intensive research, asking your family and records. Tell me, how do you think sending your blood somewhere can get your DNA? Yeah, I have a library. On my YouTube page, I'm gonna be sending. On our Zoom meetings, I'm gonna be giving all Moors books to get. And everything I got that'll get you systematically that you will need to build up your library to give you the elementary science. And then I'm gonna be sharing books on the Zoom, each teaching, to build your library up. And any other books you can get from me, I'm gonna be posting. And on my IG page, I'm gonna be posting books too that you can get from me. Go on my IG page, I got a lot of books and stuff already on there that people can get. But I'm gonna start posting books on my page too. But what I'm saying is, Moors, we do things for no reason. Just like Moors be running to get an ID card from somebody that lied to him. And I'm like, okay, have you a next year being ill on your name? No. Have you a next year being ill on your operator's license? No. Have you a next year being ill to your birth certificate? No. But you want some piece of paper. And then Moors, they do things. I'm like, but you ain't even sat and took the time to talk to your family. But we'll go send our DNA and send money and do things. And that's why I be like, man, Negroes' brains are fucked up. Excuse my candor. I gotta say it like this. I'm sorry. If you don't like the way I'm speaking, you can get off my page. It don't make me no difference. But look where our thought process is at. We won't talk to our family, that's our blood. We'll send our stuff to a place that we don't even know. Your blood and your DNA, they can take your DNA and clone your dumb ass. They can take your DNA and do anything. I'll take your DNA and plant it out of damn crime. And we talk about all this shit, we woke, we doing this, and we don't even think. And we send our blood and our DNA, which can be frozen, which can be stored for lifetimes. What they gonna do with it? What they gonna be doing with it? I'm not gonna, I said it already. If you didn't write it down, hey, it is what it is. If somebody on here, I told you, Noble, I already said it. When I speak, if a person don't know the thing, you gotta write it down. You gotta ask. Yes, it's called the Precedented Law Cases, doc number, and the thing called the Free Information Act. Did you write that down? Somebody posted. Did you write it down? People be lying. Any other questions, man? Come on. Any other questions? But why do we do things without, that's like the point I'm saying, why do we do things and then get mad when your brother start asking you questions? And most people don't read through the contract. They just want to make a point to try to defend themselves when they know they did some stupid shit. Instead of asking your family who you are. And then we say we woke, we do all this stuff, and we send all our information into people. Then we talk about, oh, Facebook, Instagram don't have the right to use my face, my profile. Well, you just sent your blood into an organization you don't even know. You just sent your DNA, your blood to an organization you don't know. And then I tell you, I guarantee you it's for entertainment purposes only. If you research, it was some Nigerians that got caught up scamming people for that stuff. Research it. Research it. They was on TV shows and everything, got millions from people. They was making that shit up. And you think sending your blood in, somebody can tell you what region you from and what areas. They're gonna say you got a little bit of this in you, you got a little bit of this in you, you got a little bit of this in you based on the blood. And you're not gonna do no research and no document proof from your family. That's sad to me. That's to me is sad. And it ain't no disrespect to nobody. And that's what I'll be saying. Especially if we pay for things. Noble, if you Noble, I'm not going, I can't tell you that, Noble. If you're not a Noble, if you part of a temple, that's real, that's how you can find yourself. Because the only way you're gonna be able to find yourself on the temple registry is if you part of a temple. And if they registered. Now I can't tell you that. If you asking that means you part of a temple. So I hope you part of a temple. I hope you got all your paperwork. I hope you got your birthrights. I hope you got your baptism paper. I hope you got your 720 dispensation papers. I hope you got everything. I hope you got everything. So that's answer you should be asking yourself, Noble. How do you look yourself up on the temple registry? What temple you a part of? That you should be asking that to your sheik. That ain't nothing you should be asking me. What's on the back of your card? What's on the back of your card? What's on the back of your card? Watch this. Hold on. I'm glad you said that. This I'm gonna demonstrate. Man, I'm not. I'm not even gonna get my say. No, I'm not. I done did that too many times. On the back of your card from the temple, it should say Moral Bureau Vital Statistics on the back of your card. It's certain things on the back of your ID cards that mean things. It's certain verbiage on there where it can be shipped to if you lose it. It's certain things on there that the verbiage that mean thing on the back of your. So why are you asking me that? If you say, where can you look yourself up on the temple registry? So that means you part of a temple. So the next question I ask you, what's on the back? What your ID card say? Because everything on your ID cards tell you where to find it at. I'll wait for the answer of that. What do it say? What do it say on the back? I know it's there, but what do it? If it's there, I mean, if it's there, they should be teaching you how to find it, unless they didn't register it. Remember, the Moral Bureau of Vital Statistics. Man, I promise y'all, I done teach this. I showed y'all this so many times that when the letter went to them, a lot of things didn't go all the way. I show y'all this from history, from the letter being mailed and everything. The Moral Vital Statistics, if the temples were still operating right, our vital statistics is like our census. Once you got 30,000 Negro, blacks, and color, and misnomer Latino Mexicans, we take our proclamation, our declaration, and our due process, and we take that to the world courts. That's why I'm here to clean up the teachings. So the temples, they stopped. All that stuff on the ID cards don't mean nothing if every more that's through the temple, which is only one, can't find themselves on it. We got to take it through the right way because they did back then. So why are we not doing it now? Because there's only one Moorish Science Temple of America with subordinate temples. I don't give a damn if it's Texas, Miami. If you're the Moorish Science Temple of America and the Moorish teaching the right thing, and no matter if you're a subordinate temple, you should get your ID from the grand body. And I'm saying a lot of the grand bodies now is bull crap. I'm telling you now. I promise you. I had to go see them people. And I don't want to bash people's names. I went to the temples and I'm telling you they full of crap. A lot of them liars. That's why they don't say nothing to me. I have elders. And I was like, I got to do what I need to do and step away from it. And let the sinking ship continue to sink. So I hope that answers your question more. I really do. That's why I be saying, Moors be thinking they be studying something. And I be like, man, people just making stuff up. People just print charters off the internet. Like I know Negroes be printing fake barber's license because all they want to do is be frauds and be fakes. I ain't saying that you don't know how to cut hair from birth, but you don't have to make nothing fake. Why would you want to make a fake barber license? Why would you want to make a fake charter and put it up and defraud the people if you're not going to teach the truth and talk about you got the right to nationalize some people? That's garbage. Any questions? Come on, keep them coming. We got, let me see, 10 more minutes because I'm an hour and 30 minutes in. I don't want to go 2 hours. 10 more minutes. Any other question? Thanks for the donation. Yep, thanks for the donation, more. Any other questions? I hope we cleared that up, man. I really do. And I hope we don't get in our feelings when we deal with history. Because everyone know who you are. Everyone. The European Mason, they know who you are. Because they study all your signs and symbols. And a copy copied you. If you don't want your birthrights, they would take it. They will honor you. And they will switch it up on you. So with that being said, we don't have any more questions, man. I hope brothers and sisters become students and members. If Allah hasn't put it on your oh, thank you, Noble. If you're not a member and a student, and you want to view the teachings, it's for the public, but you must donate $10 for Saturday and $10 for Sunday to Cash App $KG Bay, and I email you the Zoom log on. It's just that simple, man. Because I want our Moorish teachings to be private. When I get into teaching all our books, I want it to be private. So I appreciate all the love, man. But help me build this temple, man. If you're not physically in Arizona, we use the internet to network. Once we get the temple in Arizona, man, I want Moors to come. I want you to travel. Just like we'll travel an hour or two to go to a club. You telling me you won't travel to your temple on a Saturday or on a Sunday? Come on, man. When all this so-called man-made disease stuff is over, we're gonna be going at a location. I don't want to announce where we're gonna be doing it at, but once it's all over, I like to do things once it's started, once it's for sure, and then I'll be giving a location in Arizona where we'll be teaching a Saturday and a Sunday classes live from a location where Moors can come until we get our temple and school out here in Arizona. And that's what we use the donations for, man. Just like the Jew, just like everybody else use the donations to build, we can too. But with that being said, man, please stop falling for these liars, sheiks, man, that's getting y'all in trouble. Please stop that. Islam, Moors.